Cruise news time. Well, the CDC has approved another cruise line to do test sailing, simulated cruises. And I got a prediction of 4 cruise lines that I don't even think will require a vaccine. So can we just calm down and talk about it? Let's talk about it. Hey, what's up, everybody? Welcome back to Lido Loca. I'm your host, Tony, here with the latest cruise news updates. Well, if you missed my short video yesterday, then you missed the announcement that the CDC has approved Disney Cruise Line for simulated sailings. It was announced by Disney yesterday that they would be doing a test cruise June the 29th on the Disney Dream, a 2-day cruise, and the volunteers that they would be using on this simulated sailing are their own employees. So Joe Q Public will not be on this cruise. They will be doing the simulated sailing with their own employees. There'll be a set of employees, obviously, that are working, and then a set of employees that will be acting as passengers. Now, I've already had some questions like, well, why wouldn't they use the general population? Have you seen the general population? I talked about it on the live show. You know that there would be one person that signs off on all the documentation that says this is a test cruise. This is not a normal cruise. You'll be subjected to health protocols. You might even be tagged as a COVID patient. Somebody would sign off on all of that, and then as soon as they were the person that was in quarantine, they'd be on like the news going, this is a sham. I thought I was going on a free cruise, and then I had to be a COVID patient. Look, I would go with the employees also. What would you do? I can see why that makes sense. But yes, Disney entering into the test cruise scenario starting at the end of June, joining Royal Caribbean doing test cruises. We're still waiting to see what happens with Carnival Cruise Line. They got their port agreements signed off on and approved by the CDC, the port agreements from Galveston, from Miami, from Port Canaveral. The next step for Carnival is to set up these test voyages. We haven't heard anything about that yet. And so, yeah, good news for Disney. It plays into this conversation that we will have later, which cruise lines I think will go without a vaccine requirement. But let's touch on a couple other things. The lawsuit where Florida has sued the cruise, sued the CDC and the federal government, that continues to work through the mediation process. Last Thursday, lawyers were in a room for 11 hours working on a settlement. My understanding is that resumed yesterday, I assume for another day full of mediation, but no announcement yet of a settlement or any outcome. And so as soon as I hear something, I will let you guys know. Just quick, personally, I'm 10 days away from my cruise on the Adventure of the Seas out of Nassau, Bahamas. That is super exciting. Before I even get to that, though, Jenny and I will be at Port Canaveral on Friday at the Mardi Gras welcoming party, the homecoming. We'll be at Jetty Park like at 5 a.m. to see if we can get some footage of the Mardi Gras coming into dock. I'll live stream that, so if you're up on Friday morning, you could see some live footage of the Mardi Gras, but if not, stay tuned to the channel. Make sure you're subscribed with the notification bell on. That way you can see the Mardi Gras coming into Port Canaveral. Thanks in advance. And then I put a vlog up today. I've been practicing vlogging, so when I go back on the cruise, I'm not as rusty. The vlog today was all shot with an iPhone. So if you're interested to see what 5 minutes of iPhone footage looks like and is it possible to tell a story, go check out that vlog today. The most satisfying $7 I've spent in the last 14 months. That holds true. Well, here's the spoiler. I went to the movies, and the movie house was essentially empty in my theater. I said 6 people. I've said 6 people a few times. I don't know why I was counting myself as a couple. There was a couple behind me, a few rows. There were a few rows in front of me, so 5 of us in the theater. And I tell you what, the couple that was in the front, they talked through the whole movie. They talked louder than the movie. How can that even still be a thing? I went to see A Quiet Place. You would think that people would be quiet in the movie A Quiet Place. Some things never change. I was so excited, though, to be in a movie theater. The ritual of going to the movie, I documented it in that short 5-minute vlog that I released earlier today. Make sure you check that out. Now let's talk about the 4 cruise lines that I do not think will require a vaccination. This whole vaccination conversation, watching everybody go at it in the comments it's really just sad. Here's the thing that I think we're all forgetting. I'm not making the vaccination rules. You're not making the vaccination rules, and everybody that you're disparaging in the comments is not making the vaccination rules, whichever side you're on. And so we are all just people that are going to have to either decide to submit to some sort of rule that gets put out there or not submit to some sort of rule that's put out there. And so yelling at each other is there's no, I don't understand if there's a positive outcome from that. I don't think there is. And so here, let's put everybody at ease or put some people at tension. I believe at the end of the day, what we've seen from the cruise lines here starting back up in the United States is that there will be opportunities for people to cruise on almost 100% vaccinated cruises, 95% at least vaccinated cruises. I think there will be those options. And then there will be options for people who don't want to cruise on a vaccinated cruise. They don't want to be vaccinated. They don't care. It doesn't matter. And so everybody, can we kumbaya? None of us are making the decisions, and it's the same old story of people getting mad at the wrong people. Don't you get it? It's the robots. It's the overlords. It's the Illuminati. It's the leaders that have figured out how to tap into everyone's fears and get them to fight each other instead of looking at the leadership. 4 cruise lines that I don't think will require a vaccine. Just my prediction. None of this is set in stone. I'll tell you why I think that. First, Royal Caribbean. I don't think they will require a vaccine on their Royal Caribbean International line. CEO Richard Fain said it very clearly, even though 95% vaccinated would be a nice goal to obtain, it's just not feasible on the family-friendly Royal Caribbean International. They've applied for a test cruise. All those signals suggest that there will not be a vaccine requirement on those cruise ships. Carnival Cruise Line, every indication, every statement that they put out has been along the lines of, we don't see any other businesses requiring a vaccine. Why should Carnival Cruise Lines require a vaccine? Again, we don't have their test cruises scheduled yet, but I assume that they will be doing simulated sailings, which is another good signal that they will not require a vaccine. Disney Cruise Line, the story we talked about earlier, they've applied for a simulated sailing. They're in the very same boat as Carnival and Royal Caribbean. They have a lot of family on there. Getting to some sort of 95% vaccinated with all the kids that are on those cruise ships doesn't seem feasible. They're going the test sailing route. It would indicate that they will probably not be requesting proof of vaccination. So that's Royal, that's Carnival, that's Disney. The number 4 cruise line that I predict that I don't think will request a vaccine or require a vaccine for cruises out of the US would be MSC Cruise Line. The reason I say that, and we haven't seen any indications where they're at when it comes to resuming sailing in the US, test sailings, that kind of thing. The reason I would say that is because they're not requiring vaccines in the Mediterranean. They're not requiring vaccines in Europe. They are relying on their health protocols. And so the question really moves away from vaccine or not vaccine to the question of what will the health protocols be? How will cruising be during this time? And so if we think about the health protocols on cruises where vaccines aren't required, the real example that we have to look at are the MSC cruises that are happening in the Med, happening in the UK. MSC relies heavily on testing before boarding, on physical distancing and masking. And so like if you go on an MSC cruise in the UK, you have to wear a mask in all public spaces unless you're eating or drinking. So it's physical distancing, masking, testing, contact tracing. I think every cruise that we go on, we just have to be ready for contact tracing. But yes, so this is really where the conversation is going to steer to as cruising restarts from the US. I feel really confident, actually. Like if I could go to Vegas and put a bet on it, I would bet that in the US, now I'm not counting Alaska. Alaska's a whole different set of circumstances. So take Alaska, put it over there. Most of these Alaskan cruises are going to require a vaccine. But my prediction is that for all other US ports, no vaccine requirement for Royal, Carnival, Disney, and MSC. I really hope that puts some people at ease and we can stop fighting over something we don't have any control over. I'm happy to give the information to lay it out, but sometimes people are projecting their negative energy on me like somehow I made up the vaccine rules. Can we just get a grip, please? Thank you so much for watching the show today. Please show your support by hitting the like button, or I'll use my mind control device to get your kids to draw on your walls in crayon. And the pictures won't be good. It's Tony with Lido Loca. Until the next time, we'll see you on the Lido. Bye.